Welcome in and thanks for joining today's Stream Elements. An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Freakberg. There's an ad running for 180. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, SMC_May_I.
Hello, May and Freckberg. Good to see you both. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Friday. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, boom, boom. So we got some fun in store for today. I got story time on how I got hacked. I got lawn maintenance problems. It's still ongoing. Logistics wise, we got to end around 4 p.m. Eastern. Got family stuff going on this late afternoon, early evening. And Wordle bugs to fix. Somehow, or maybe it's just down. I haven't even looked at it yet, actually. But yesterday, I submitted my score, and the bot was like, nothing, Clarkio, nothing. 4 p.m. What am I even paying you for? You funny. You're funny. You, sir, are a funny guy. I need to check render. I need to look at the logs. What happened yesterday? Where are the no logs from yesterday? It's today. Today's the 15th, right? Yeah. Where are the whole logs? Show me last 24 hours. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah, sneeze. Oh, I just sneezed big time. Application server error. Okay. Undefined. Scores for largest game. So we got a bug to look into. For yesterday somehow. Okay. All right, I got it up. I got the logs up. I'm ready to roll when we get into the technical portion of the show. I don't know what you're talking about. It worked fine for me. Lol. I know. Everybody else, it was working fine. Oh, I got to take this call, actually, chat. Hold on. A few more minutes.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Code with CM.
All right, chat. We're going to have some interruptions because I'm going to have these lawn folks coming. Let's do the intro dance, and then I'll catch you all up on what's going on. We'll do intro, wins of the week. Cobra Sean, good to see you, buddy. Intro, wins of the week, Wordle, connections, maybe some words on stream, then get into fixing the Wordle bot, whatever error was going on here, what happened. And then I'll share with you what I was trying to work on offline, too. I have lots of stories to share with you this week. Good and bad, okay? So, let's get into it. Jimmy! It's time. There it is. Good man. It worked with Frackberg, did it? Okay, we'll ship Frackberg. Yes, Cobra Sean. Sits down and listen to Grandpa Clarkio stories. Oh, over here? Get pumped, chat. Hey, Rugmat's emotes. Where's Rugmat? Thank you, Coach Sean. Dancing along with me in chat. Awkward stairs. It's the only dance I'm allowed to do. Okay, Coach John. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Watch streak, Chris Jones, 3 stream streak. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Everything's looking good. Stream stability is good. It's good.
Welcome in and thanks for
Friday.
Today, Clark.
Oh, I'm glad I'm here too. Music is low, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for the heads up on that.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Huggins 7278.
What's up, Huggins? Good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into the...
Thanks for joining today, Zeno8.
Sean 08. Sean A. Good to see you all. Happy to have you here. Welcome in for another Clarkio Shenanigans show every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on twitch.tv/Clarkio, Clarkio, or youtube.com/Clarkio. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are. We are going to kick off the stream in the usual format where we're just chatting, hanging out, talking about wins of the week, celebrating wins with the community, starting on a positive note. Then we'll get into Wordle/connections, maybe words on stream. We usually do. And then get into the technical portion of the show, which we are continuing to work on this Wordle Discord bot. I had a bug happen yesterday where it would not take my own scores, but it was taking everybody else's scores into account. So I should have won yesterday, but it didn't count me as a winner. Everybody else got to be a winner, but not me. Frackberg included was a winner. That's not no. I should write it in the code that Frackberg can never be a winner. I'm just kidding, Frackberg. I'm just kidding, obviously. So yeah, I have lots to catch you up on. Let me hear your wins of the week. If you don't know what that is, exclamation point WOTW in the chat to learn more about what that is and why we start the stream off this way. Why I had to step away really quick at the beginning of the stream while I was talking to you all is because I've been having a problem with my front lawn. The company I go with, I've been with them for 6-7 years now. They've been fantastic normally. The past year though, my front lawn has gone to shit. It's gone to shit. Okay? And you're a wiener, not a winner. Exactly. And it turns out that the guy that they had switched to the route that I'm on for the properties that they, service, just was like being unethical and just didn't do his job and shit like that. So my front lawn has went bad to where it just looks like crap. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to the lawn. I don't need it to look perfectly dark green or whatever it may need to be, but it needs to look decent, and it's not even looking decent. It's looking really cruddy. So anyway, they were supposed to come out last Friday before stream, and the guy never showed up. This is the manager, right? And then I was like, okay, he didn't show up. It is what it is. Did the stream, went about my weekend and everything, and then on Tuesday I called them up, and they're like, okay, he's gonna come out Friday morning again before stream. Guess what happened, chat? Didn't show up. Didn't show up. I don't know. They're understaffed or something like that, because that's when, and then he finally called me, because I had called them earlier before streaming. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Where's this guy? Talking to the receptionist. He's like, oh, he's at another site right now that went long. Oh, okay, well, call me. Tell me what's going on. I don't know if he's going to be a no-show again. You know? So I was like, listen, tell him to call me. Keep me updated. So that's what happened. He called me. So he's going to be here in like, he's at another job site right now. Should be quick. And then he's going to come here. And with me, it's just like overviewing what's going on and then making a plan of action to fix the mess that they made out there, you know? And that's it. So it should be pretty quick and simple. I'm not expecting them to fix it over, you know, today, but they better fix it pretty damn soon, because like I'm a long-standing customer. Come on now. Where's the respect? Anyway, so that's what's going on. My win of the week is I started going to get your wins in the week and queued up in the chat too, okay? I want to hear it. Get off my digital lawn. Yes, exactly, Coach Sean. M. Huggins is the guy who does my backyard sucks. Look at the mirror. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is for like treatment of the lawn for weeds and like just keeping it green and that kind of stuff. It's not like lawn maintenance in the sense of cutting it and keeping the bushes trimmed up and that type of thing. So that's not on them. So anyway, what was I going to say? My win of the week. My win of the week is I started going to the gym, and not just like a gym. I went to like a class, and I think this is what works best for me. I think I've tapped into what's going to likely, and I'm saying this cautiously optimistic about it right now, because basically in the past I would join a gym where I got to go on my own and do the whole thing, right? And it's like, I don't know, usually like somewhere between 30 to 40 bucks a month or something like that. At least it last, you know, several years ago when I used to be a member of the gym. And then, you know, I would have to push myself to go and do the whole thing. And then I don't exactly know everything that I'm doing. I'm watching videos and learning and that stuff, and never got like formal training on it, right? Whereas with a class, you have everybody's following the same routine. You know, everybody's going bang, bang, bang to each their stations and stuff like that. And I started that on Monday, and I went yesterday. So I went twice this week, chat. And I'm feeling good about it. How did I get into it? Mrs. Clarkio started doing this. She's been doing this for a few months now, and she's like, you should try this out. And I get to go with her over our lunch break on Mondays. So it's kind of cool that we do like a couple thing, you know, like we're hanging out, doing something good for ourselves together, right? Holding each other accountable. So that's my win of the week. And I'm feeling good about that. My body, on the other hand, is not feeling so great about that. Because I can barely squat down to get anything. Because we're running on a treadmill, we're rowing, lifting weights and stuff like that. So, getting sweaty and breathing heavy together. Exactly. Well, wait. What are you trying to get at, Sean? What's another thing? Speaking of, well, Frackberg saying win of the week. Clarkio followed me on Blue Sky. Thank you for I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm flattered that you're so excited that I followed you, but like, of course I'd follow you. I think I follow you on Twitter too, don't I? Anyway, speaking of that though, like, very happy to see, that's another win, like to see a lot of development community folks moving over to Blue Sky and being more active there. And it's very refreshing. It's very refreshing. I feel like I did a decent job of curating things on Twitter, but like even still, I get like crazy ads on Twitter. Hey, welcome in, Clarkio? I get crazy ads on Twitter, so like even with like curating things and trying to limit the amount of nonsense and junk that I see on that platform, it still gets into your feed, where I feel like I have way more control on Blue Sky. So that's I'm with you on the sense of just like being on Blue Sky. Frackberg is another win of the week, and seeing a lot of dev folks over there and just community building up on that side of things. So that's cool. What else was I talking about? Wins of the week. Kids are happy and healthy. We got a family thing we're taking them out to tonight or this evening. We're gonna go get dinner and then go see like a show thing with them that they're gonna be super excited about. And so yeah, that's why I gotta leave. Keep me accountable, chat, right around 4 so that I can shut everything down, close out work, and be ready to go do what we got to do with the kiddos. So I'm excited about that. That's another win, I would say, too, like having some fun family time this evening. And what else? I think that covers pretty much a lot of the wins of the weeks. So Frackberg, thank you for sharing your win of the week. Chris Jones, I see your win of the week just got a new phone today. First one in 6 years. Nice. Thank you for sharing. Congrats on that. Also,
welcome in and thanks for joining today, Roy Lisi.
Hey, Roy Lisi, good to see you. Also, Chris Jones, props to you for having that long of a break between phones. I feel like, I don't know, I do that quite often myself. Like, I went from the 10 to, so before the 10, I had like the 6S. So I went from 6S to the iPhone 10, and then from iPhone 10 to iPhone 13. No. Is it 13? What is it? Down so that while I'm looking that up. Anyway, I'm in the same boat as you in the sense, Chris Jones, of like I like to space it out quite a bit. And normally I don't have a problem resisting the urge to want to get the new iPhone, but being that it's been about 3 years for me, I was kind of itching for the 16, but I've held off because I'm like, I don't need it. This phone is still very good, working well. And it's like once it starts working bad and I start seeing the battery health deteriorate, that's when I'm like, okay. What is it? This is 13, yeah. Okay. I was right. So there you have it. You said I would have upgraded sooner, but could never justify the cost. Exactly. I got it as a part payment in exchange for doing some private dev work. Okay, there you go. Cool. Going from the XS Max, the 10, that's the 10S, right? 10 XS Max to 16 Pro Max. Okay, got you. Yeah. As Sean 08 says, I try to space my phones out, but sometimes my klutziness doesn't let me. I got you. Yeah. Fortunately, I've been very fortunate with that. That's me knocking on wood to keep that. Frapper says I went from 12 to a 16. Not quite Chris impressive, but a good chunk of time. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's folks that get the new phone like every year. That's like, come on. Why you? I mean, unless you're like unless you're like MKB HD where you're doing phone reviews every year, sure. But like, if you're just throwing money, especially when there's not that big of a difference between phones, you know, like what are you doing? You just got money to blow, huh? Or at least this iPhone sounds like the worst brand to have for long. They get out of support so quickly. What do you mean by out of support so quickly? What do you mean by that? Because I feel like I'm very well supported by Apple from an iPhone owner perspective. Huggins says, oh, and I finished my year-end self-eval, so that's all submitted ahead of the 5 p.m. Hey, congrats on that, Huggins. Thank you for sharing that other win of the week, too. I gotta go back. Gotta go back and read that. My 12 is still in support. It is. Yeah, exactly, Frackberg. You do, but now Twitter is dead to me. I got you, Frackberg. Okay, yep. Sean says you can take that however you choose to take it. Okay, fair enough. The first win of the week that Huggins shared was, did a demo on a small feature I've been working on yesterday. Went really well, and we were able to release the feature right after the demo. Wow, okay. It cross-cuts a few apps and involves some new API endpoints. Very, very nice to hear. Congrats on that, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Huggins. That's very cool. It's so sad. I'm just thinking about that feeling that you probably had of just the satisfaction of everything going smooth and you deploying it and seeing your work come to fruition like that. That's awesome. Sean 08, win of the week, says, I am no longer a condo association board member after 4 years. Well, technically, it takes effect January 1st, but yay. Why did you sign yourself up for that torture? Congrats on that. That's awesome. Glad to hear you're relieved of your duties. Excellent, excellent. Did I miss any other wins of the week earlier? I think we're all caught up there. Catching back up to the latest chat now. Really says, I mean, compared to other brands that you could have 12 versions between and still have your phone updated, not stopped by iOS. Oh, iOS updates. I get what you're saying. iPhone seems too quick. I had Samsung S2 till like 3 years ago, ever since it came out. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think although I don't know what the limitation is. I feel like I gotta look that up. I feel like it's comparable. I imagine Android definitely has longer software update support for older phones than iPhone. But I feel like iOS and iPhone is decent. It's enough for me to where, like, probably with Chris Jones, right? The XS Max, you're probably still getting updates, right, Chris Jones? Up until you upgraded. Sean says Android depends on the manufacturer. Yeah, well, I mean, there's that, right? Or if you oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it. When I used to do this all the time when I was a big time Android user. Basically reformat it, but I forget what the technical term is for phone. You root it. Yes, that's it. Because that was the one thing that I didn't like about, well, see, with iPhone, the phone carriers, at least in the US, cannot install their own shit on top of it. Whereas with Android, they can. So if you have AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, whatever, those are like the three big ones, right? In the US at least. They would always add in their own garbage apps, right? So then what you could do though is root it and install just, plain old Android on it, right? But not everyday average users of that can do that, right? So they just get all this bloatware. So there is that. But at the same time, like, Android has gets all these features that, people get all excited about with iPhone, and Android users like, we had that like 5 years ago. What are you all clamoring about over that, So I get that. There's pros and cons to each. I personally have leaned more so on iPhone because for one, when it comes to Apple, at least back at the time when I first switched over, they're very competitive price-wise. Okay? And then two, they seem to take, and I'm not saying Android doesn't, but I just feel like it's a big proponent of it for me as a cybersecurity person and just paranoid privacy person. I feel like iPhone really takes that makes that a high priority. I mean, case in point, there's been like several things over the years where like government agencies are asking Apple for like a back door into people's iPhones, and they still, wouldn't do stuff like that, So, or, okay, dark PDF user. Hey, we'll get there. Don't. Hold on, Sean. Hold on, okay? Really says Samsung tries to keep them up until there is a true hardware update that breaks all. Yeah, iOS has a set term, kinda, is what I mean. Specifically between officials. Yeah, I got you. I heard lately about iPhone recovering deleted images after factories. I did see something about that. Thankfully, I have not been hit by that, but that is definitely of concern, Royally C, where people like upgrade to the latest iOS and then their images from years ago are all of a sudden lost. That's very sad. But it's just a stark reminder of how you need to be back in. I need to do a better job of this. As a result of that, I reviewed like my backup strategy, and you should be having like 3-point backup strategy. I don't do this to a T, but basically you have like one cloud service backup, one local backup, and then one remote physical location, like a family member's house backup location of all the things that you want. But like to really get to that point, you got to know somebody in your family that's technically able to like handle, or is like just willing to just not bother with anything that you set up for backups at their home, Coach Stone says, haven't you noticed how phone companies are willing to get you a new phone if you bring in an old phone in any condition? I suspect they want data off our old phones. That is 3-2-1 backups for the win. Yes, exactly, Sean. Wait. That is curious to me as well, Coach Sean. I personally don't trade in the phones, which is another reason why I wait.
Today, Pranav_29.
Hey, Pranav, glad to see you here. Another reason why I don't I wait longer is I want to wait until the phone's paid off before I go upgrade into a new one, because I don't trade in my old ones. So it's two reasons. Like, one is like a little bit of paranoia of like, what are they going to do with it? Even though you could wipe it yourself, but like, I don't know, maybe they have a means to do something with it that could somehow be tracked back to me, right? Like, no thanks. And then two, the just nostalgia of it. Like, I have old Blackberries, you know, stuff like that sitting around, flip phones sitting around, and I'm a technology hoarder. I think a lot of you probably feel the same way about yourselves. Sean says, I just buy my phones outright instead of paying monthly. Yeah, that's another way to do it. Cool. It's a good idea. You don't trade in either, Coach? Oh, nice. All right. Keep your wins of the week coming if you're just joining. Let us know in the chat what it is. We'll celebrate together. I'm going to get into my story about how I got hacked this week. And you're like, wow, how is he so jolly and happy right now? Because I was very limited, and I have not seen anything. I haven't been negatively impacted as a result of it so far. So we'll get into the weeds of it. May says, I also buy my phones outright. I don't want payments. I have an iPhone XR now. Okay, I got you. Crackburger, LOL. I still have every smartphone I've ever owned. Yeah, see. Coach Sean, I'd rather try to stop my truck from rolling using old phones than to give that data away. I'd rather try to stop my truck from rolling. I'm not sure I'm getting what you're saying there. Sorry. Sean, wait. All right. I'll be back in a bit. Need to get ready for the day. Yeah, no worries, Sean. You love your bricked phone too? Really, I guess I should have added the search term. But hey, what do you mean? What is that in reference to? Coach Jones, I have a stack of old hard drives too. I do too. I need to see if they still work and have the data on it actually, and then back those up. Have you done that, Coach Sean? Because they apparently, well, SSDs have a shelf life. I know that, like where they will just stop working. But I think the old hard disk drives are like last a little bit longer, right? Coach Sean says, I have a stack of old hard drives too. I will only give them up to a large shredder with me present to watch them die. Yeah, yep. Honestly, same though. I half the time open them and take parts for Arduino. But yeah, yep. Would you give them up to thermite? Stop my truck from rolling, as in using phones to chalk the truck. I guess I'm not familiar with that expression, Coach. I'm sorry. There's a song. It's showtime. I need a little bit more chill of a. Okay. All right, story time. You got hacked and I got caught with an internal phishing email. At least it was just a test, right? For you, right? I went to right click on a button to see where it linked to, and instead accidentally clicked it. Ooh, resulted in required security training work. Ouch. Sorry to hear that, Huggins. But hey, at least you didn't really get compromised, right? Like using a brick by the tire to keep truck from accidentally rolling / moving while changing another tire. Okay, I'm familiar with that. Okay, you're saying you'd rather use the phone for something like that than give it to some. I got you. Okay. Sorry, that one was going over my head. Or at least also am in a bus by mobile data going crazy. I might be able to catch the stream in technical portion. See ya. I'll unfortunately miss this. All right, no worries, Royley. Hey, stay safe. You know, save your data. We'll catch you when you can get back. If not, have a good rest of your Friday and weekend, Royley. Coach Phone says right. Pranav says on an inclined plane. He is saying, I guess instead of brick. Yes, I got you, Pranav. Thank you everybody for helping me out there. All right, story time. So I'm practicing with you all because I'm going to turn this into a video. But basically, I am a huge fan of dark mode. As you probably all know, I tend to lean in dark mode for everything. And if something doesn't have dark mode, I try to find ways to implement dark mode. Now, if you're a light mode person, you're going to get great satisfaction out of this story because dark mode is what got me hacked, essentially here. Okay. Now you might be wondering, how did that happen, Clarkio? Well, it's a fun little explanation. Okay. So when I make my videos for work, I use this teleprompter that you see me looking into your soul with right now. And in a lot of cases, the videos, I have a script that I'm going to follow, either where I read narration exactly and kind of riff a little bit off of there, or I have an outline, that type of thing. And it's in PDF format. Now, the PDF is a bright white background with black text on it. And for whatever reason, even if I turn the brightness down all the way on this teleprompter screen, it still causes this glare to be on the glass in front of my camera. And so I get washed out. And I've noticed that, and it actually happened and is live in one of the videos back in Sneak. Actually, pause for a second. Shout out to Sneak as usual for making it possible that I can do this every Friday afternoon. So big props to my company Sneak. They do not endorse or sponsor this at all. They're just making, my leadership is just, you know, they hired me to be able to keep doing the live streaming, that type of, and videos for them. And that's what I'm doing here. So shout out to Sneak. Check them out at snyk.io, sneak.io. Okay. Speaking of that, so the videos, right? There's a video out there that has that glare where you can see it. In fact, I can maybe look it up and show you all. So I was like, I need a solution to this. There's got to be a way to make a PDF in dark mode. And I found a browser extension called Dark PDF. Dark PDF, I looked it up, I researched it, I saw that it was open source, and I checked out the code and everything, and I was like, okay, this seems legitimate, this seems cool, there's a good amount of users behind it, the reviews are good. I did my due diligence. I did a check on it. And when I went to install it, I noticed that it needed access to all sites. And I was like, why would it need access to all sites? That seems kind of odd. It's just looking at PDFs to make them dark. But I was like, okay, whatever. What I'll do to combat that is I will just only enable it when I'm recording the videos and then disable it. So little foreshadowing in there that limited my exposure to this vulnerability, thankfully. So I would record my videos, I'd turn that extension on, tell it to switch to dark mode for the content of the PDF, and then the glare would go away and we're good to go. We're making videos, we're cranking out content like crazy every week. Okay? Then I come to find out on Monday, my day off. I had a nice day off. I was going to work on this Wordle bot, actually. I had started working a little bit on it over the weekend since last stream. And I was so excited. I was going to use my time to do that. I was going to go to the gym and all that. And first thing in the morning, I open up the browser and it's like, this extension has been disabled. It has been flagged for malware. And I'm like, oh, excellent. That's cool. No additional information whatsoever. So this really quick little caveat to all, or a little tangent off of this. Browser providers, Chrome, Brave is mine, but Chromium behind the scenes, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, do a better, I'm glad that they're doing this, right? Like reporting that these browsers are being found to be doing malicious things in their malware, but give me more information so that I can understand how I was exposed. Like how much, what is the course of action I need to take to protect myself, or do my best to protect myself and limit the impact of what happened from this malware. I got nothing, nada. I was looking all over, and finally I came across, via the repository, actually, there's people that had an issue. Let's see if I can get it. Search for it. Dark PDF, so I can show you all. So what's interesting is this guy, thankfully, still has this repo up. Okay, you all can check it out, and you can look at the source code. It still doesn't have any malware in the source code on the repo here. So this is also a little.
And thanks for joining today, Clark here.
I know, I'm so glad to be here, chatbot. This is also a note that just because something shows open source doesn't necessarily mean what you're getting in the marketplace where you're installing it from is the same thing. So you should also do your best to inspect what once it's installed, what it actually looks like, which I ended up doing, and I'll show you. I had some AI analyze it too. So I was like, all right, let's go to the issues, and extension marked as malware, boom, like that. And you could see people are talking about it 4 days ago. Same here. They're using an Edge. It's they're Brave, all different browser vendors that flagged it. The same dev is also unlisted now from the live web store, so I recommend just removing the extension completely. See below, comment and associated links. This individual, shout out to Palant. They did a great write-up, which we're going to get to in a minute, that discovered that it's what happened here, the story behind it. So this is how I found out, just fortunately, what happened basically. Fortunately, because this individual and this GitHub issue, which is still visible, was able to bring it all to light. So somebody wants so much for keep my browsing history private. Yeah. So I come to find out basically through this blog post from Palant, which I don't know exactly I forget how they necessarily came through it, but essentially somebody brought to my attention that hide YouTube Shorts extension. So it's not just the extension I'm using that was impacted by this. It's about a half a dozen others that we'll get to in a second. It's changed hands. That's the key thing here, and turned malicious. So I really believe that the author behind this built it just, kind of like I built the Azure Mask extension, and I did it out of the necessity for my own self, but shared it with everybody and made it publicly available out of the goodness of my own heart to like help the community, right? For that particular need that I had. And I think this person did too. However, apparently or allegedly, they sold the extension to a company, and then that company injected malware into it. And I'll share the link so people can go into the weeds of it a bit more if you'd like. Double check, by the way, that you're not using any of these extensions. Hide YouTube Shorts, Dark PDF, Sudoku on the Rocks, Dynamics 365, Israel Everywhere, Karma, Where is Cookie, visual effects for Google Meet. You can see it's not a small amount of people. I mean, in some cases there are, right? Like there's only 70 weekly active users, 93 on this one, but there's some, like the one I was using, 40,000, 100,000, and so forth, right? So a lot of people impacted by this. And this individual figured this out back in October. I didn't realize, the end of October at least, but I didn't get notice until this Monday is when I first heard about it. So there's that to note here. And the other thing is, I believe this happened back in 2023. So that means it's like a year that people might have been using these extensions. I only started using this extension this year, Dark PDF, with the creation of the videos. So again, limited time frame, at least a little bit. And the fact that I was enabling and disabling it for the most part, there were times where I left it enabled after recording a video. And I know that's why I'm like still a little paranoid that I might be impacted more. So in any case, that's what's going on with that. So basically what it's doing that they found is there's affiliate fraud functionality. So essentially, if you would go to Amazon or any other site where this company has affiliate like ID that they can inject into the URL as a query parameter, what they would do is they would add that behind the scenes without users knowing, so that they can get kickbacks for anything you might purchase on those e-commerce sites that they have affiliation with, or at least an affiliate account with those, right? So basically it looks like any of these ones that were named out here or something like that. So that's one thing they would do. And then they would do browsing profile collection, which I don't know exactly what the objective would be here, but they get things like token, which is like a unique identifier to you, timestamp, user ID, the refer, so like the URL that you're like going to or from rather, and then the one that you're going to, like example.com. So they're tracking your history. Now, to me, I'm not too worried about that, because like I'm not worried about my browser history necessarily, although there could be some, the things in there that I'd be worried about or slightly concerned is like things that identify me more, that are local to me, that are like websites for local municipalities or local, things that identify me even more. And then that puts my privacy in the sense of like my physical location a little bit more at risk. But, my information is out there. So I'm not any more exposed than I was, but because of this, in that regard, than I was prior to this thing coming out and being on my machine. So there is that. So But the one concern I have that I don't know for certain, other than analyzing the code locally, that makes me feel a little bit more confident that this wasn't happening, is if they had access to like form data inside of a web page. So not just the URLs where would they be grabbing, but they could grab any forms that might be entered or submitted and exfiltrating that as part of this. Then that's where I'm like, okay, my username and passwords are being compromised for sites that I would have logged into while this extension was installed on my machine. That would be of concern to me. So I have since, to be proactive, gone through, I'm still in the process, because you'd be surprised how many things you sign into over a year, right? So I've been going through my browsing history, and I'm like, okay, and I made a list of all the things that I saw, and then I'm going through and changing the passwords on all of them, obviously starting with the highest priority ones and then working my way down. So giving you insight into how I'm approaching responding to this exposure that I've had to this malware on this machine that I'm streaming from right now. I might even honestly reformat this whole machine. The one thing holding me back is having to set all of the streaming stuff up again and all that fun stuff. Although I have it to a point where it's pretty quick that I can get up and running back to normal, but there is that to consider, with everything. So now, and again, I don't think I need to reformat my operating system, but I think to err on the side of caution, I'm leaning towards doing that. It's just a matter of finding the time to do it. So, and I didn't want to do that, days before having a stream type of thing. So maybe like over the holidays, like the Thanksgiving holiday or something like that, I'll look to do that just to be extra safe. So there is all that. So now what I want to describe here is, in this situation, is that even when you do your due diligence and you try to evaluate and vet things before you go and just willy-nilly install something, which I'm being kind of liberal with my choice of words there, in the sense of like, I didn't really willy-nilly just install this thing. I did some research on it before going and starting to use it, and which led to me enabling and disabling it. That's why I bring that up. But it goes to show you that even when you do that, things like this can happen. This is what we call, in like development world, and especially when it comes to open source dependencies, a supply chain attack. Meaning you are depending upon, let's say like Lodash as an example, or Express or something like that. And the author behind that, or the maintainers behind that, decide to be like, you know what, I'm not going to, manage this anymore, or I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to hand it off to somebody, or they're going to introduce somebody to contribute with them, and that person introduces malware into there or something, malicious, then boom, you're compromised, right? So it's just something that I want to bring to light to everybody. One, as I shared in the Discord, speaking of, use !Discord command in the chat to get the link to join up there, so you can be part of these conversations that we're having off stream. Or you can go to clarkio.com/Discord to get the invite that way. But what you should do right now, as you're watching, if you're not busy, like just lurking right now, listening in, and you're kind of focused up and paying attention to the story, what you should do right now for the remainder of today, or just schedule some time to take an audit of the browser extensions you're using, and seeing if they're a little bit more like double check that the permissions that they're requesting you for, and be like, does this browser extension really need that level of permission? And if so, do you really need to use that extension? So take an audit of all your extensions you're using. I'd say even in VS Code too. I'm not saying VS Code is compromised, but like just in anything where you're relying on other people's code that is from like a not widely known source, you should definitely be very cautious about and double check. So this is your public service announcement from Clarkio, having just been hit with this malware attack.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Pilfers.
That's a fair point. They have a VS Code extensions have file system and network access. Yes. However, the VS Code team does a decent job, as far as I can tell, of sandboxing what extensions can really have access to. Right? So that you keep that in mind as well. And one thing from the EFF. What do you mean and one thing from the EFF? Oh, you pretty much the only extension I have installed is my password manager and my ad blocker. And one thing from the EFF. I got you. Like Privacy Badger or something like that. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I've cut it down. Now, one thing I need to really, I'm struggling to part ways with is I use Dark Reader, which is another dark mode extension that one has access to every website. And I'm like kicking myself, like, why am I doing this? Do I really care about dark mode that much? And like, is it worth it, you know? And there's been a case where dark mode, the Dark Reader, which is this extension you see right here, that little alien looking dude right there, it was compromised in the past. So there is that. So I need to truly, that's why this site looks like the way it is right now.
Thanks
Let me
for
turn
joining today, Marcus Voice Coder.
Turn it off. What's up, Marcus? Written by the dark side. Yes. Yes. Good to see you, Marcus. Pilfers. Pro tip, load unpacked extension, audit the code, and load up your own copy of it within your browser. That's a great way. Minification equals normal, obfuscation equals sussy. Yes. So if I have some time, I think Mrs. Clark, you might be back. That's probably what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. I thought it was my front door. So keep in mind, chat, I might have to switch over to BRB once the lawn folks get here that I gotta chat with. Speaking of which, I'll get words on stream ready so that when I go to BRB, I can just pop that up. So bear with me a second here, chat. But essentially, that's what happened. I'm still dealing with, we're dealing with the what's the word I'm looking for? The impact, or trying to figure out. The other thing I tried doing is I use a networking devices is supposed to give me better insights into the traffic that's happening on my net. Oh, I'm in BRB. Why am I in BRB? No, I'm not in BRB. That was just studio mode. Okay. I use networking devices that's supposed to give me better insights into the traffic that's happening on my local network. And it does that, but it does it at a high level. So it'll be like, okay, somebody, these devices have been going to Netflix, or these devices have gone to Google, right? Or Amazon Web Services, but it doesn't give me fine grained, because what I wanted to do is, while it's tracking and logging the history of things at a broad level like that, I wanted to see if like these URLs that you see here that it was making requests to show up in my network traffic. And I could not find a way to do that with the tooling that I have. So what it got me thinking, and I started diving into this, is setting up an old Raspberry Pi that I have here, and turning that into a Pi hole and making that to be my DNS server, so that I can better control outbound traffic from my network here and further identify. Now, on top of that, there has been alerts that I've gotten from my networking software and devices about intrusion. It basically has intrusion detection security and intrusion prevention security in it. And so I imagine, and I've had ones that have happened since the earlier in the year, like only a handful, like one or two. I imagine it was probably blocking one of these attempts that this extension was trying to do. So, but the thing is, again, it doesn't give me a lot of details so that I can better understand the context and everything. It just says very broadly, like, this type of attack was detected and prevented on your network, and we blocked it, right? And then it's like, here's the signature type of thing of it, or like, it gives you like a category of the type of it. So I need to, this is kind of like, glass half full situation. It caused me to do a better audit of my extensions. It reminded me of supply chain attacks can happen even outside of just general development and that type of thing. And then it helped identify gaps in my ability to respond to incidents for my own privacy and security. So I'm gonna get Pi holes squared away and set up. I gotta work on that. It's a Raspberry Pi 3, so I don't know if it can handle it or not. Those of you that are familiar with Pi hole What's like the minimum requirements on it? You think I can handle it on a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B V1.2, I think it is, if I'm recalling correctly. So there's that. What's going on? So all this to say, like, hopefully this is a word of caution to you all, public service announcement, so that you all do, as a reminder to check it on your stuff and keep yourself safe out there. And the other thing is to say, you all know how paranoid I am and how like security oriented I am, and yet it still can happen to you. Okay? It can happen to anybody, regardless. I think what helped me in this case, so as bummed out as I am that I got impacted by this, I'm also, like, on a positive note, feeling like I did a pretty better job than maybe most people would have in terms of limiting the exposure to this malware, The other thing is that I reminded myself, because in the moment when that comes up, you start panicking a little bit. But then shortly after that, within minutes, I was like, all right, I can't be panicking. I need to just, the only way I'm going to be able to respond to this and really address the issue address the issue is if I approach it calmly and realize, figure out what's going on. That's if I approach it with a clear head, I'll be better off than if I'm just sitting here freaking out about it, So, all right, let me catch up with your messages in chat because I've been just going off on that story mode there. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Cool Hearts from earlier. Appreciate you. Pranav says, yes, I remember installing Dark Reader after your stream. Double check on it, Pranav. Maybe you don't need it. I'm contemplating getting rid of that one too. Or at least it says, make me want to recreate every extension I use slowly just to stay away from update required extensions, honestly. Yeah, that's honestly, I'm in the same thought process right now as a result of all this. Huggins says, if that's the overall blast radius, it doesn't seem terrible, annoying, but could have been a lot worse. Exactly, right? Exactly. I feel pretty good about my exposure, like my limited exposure to it. And I would like to know for sure exactly what may or may not have been exfiltrated. Again, if they know my general browsing history, I'm not worried about that. I'd be willing to, I'm not going to do it right now, but because again, I don't know if I'm exposing private things that like identify me more and that could give you access to things on me. That's the only reason why I would not show my history. But if somebody was sitting here with me over my shoulder looking at my browsing history, I would not bat an eye at that. Like, I'm not worried about that. It's more of getting compromised and somebody trying to do stuff with that information, right? That's where I'm like, that's where I feel a little bit uneasy about that. So, but in response to that, I've changed passwords for pretty much everything. That's especially the highest priority things like that you could think of. Sean 08 says, reformat it after 4 p.m. today so you have plenty of time before next stream, Kappa. Sure. Or at least it says, did they change publisher on the store? Because would they buy the whole company or just the extension? No, it wasn't a company. They just bought a bunch of it. The same company, according to Palant here, or Palant, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. This same company bought a bunch of extensions, basically. I don't know if they changed the publisher over to them or not. I have to read through this again. But it's very shady stuff that they did. So I recommend, if you want to go more into the weeds of this, I'm gonna make a video on this that will go in more into the weeds. But for the sake of time, I'm not doing that on stream right now. And for the purposes, like, go check out this person's website if you're really that interested, right? Let's send them some traffic from us so that they, get acknowledgement for the hard work they put into researching this, So back to your question, though, I'm not sure. I believe that the company just took over the extensions, and then they probably had to switch it over to their developer account with the Chrome web store or any of the browser web stores so that they can publish it with the new injected malware. And then when you look at the actual code, which I'll show you in a second once I'm done talking through this part, they obfuscated everything. So they minified it. So it's like var a equals x and stuff like that. And that's like another huge, like for a browser extension, you don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. And like maybe there's some cases where that could be, but generally speaking, for the most part, you don't need to minify a browser extension. The only thing you're doing with minifying a browser extension is you're maybe speeding up the install by, by milliseconds or something like that. What? No. So, anywho, that's a huge red flag when you see a browser extension doing that. If you look at where browser extensions are installed for your browser and you check out the source code of it and you see that, that's another eyebrow raiser that you should be like, I'm not going to use this extension anymore. But before you get rid of it, disable it, keep the source code, because the source code's not going to run unless it's in the context of the browser, and then have AI analyze it, which I'm going to show you again that I did that, and it'll tell you what it might find that could be malicious in there. It's pretty great use case for AI in this situation. Sean White says, pretty much the only extension I have installed, I read that already, VS Code this, and one thing from the EFF. Marcus Voice Coach is written by the Dark Side. Pilfers. Pro tip, load on. Yep. I like that pro tip. I'm going to say it again. Load unpacked extensions, audit the code, and load up your own copy of it within your browser. Yep. Bro, this is honestly, I've just added an extension that injects CSS and JS self-made and added main sites I use, and then some nonchalant code to make stuff dark. Pilfer says, I'm doing something semi-similar right now. I wrote a tool to inspect and instrument React Native applications at runtime, and I'm finding all kinds of really interesting things that folks don't really get a chance to see when auditing apps. Yep. You wrote a hook this morning to watch the require/define call stack, isolate individual components, and hook those components, functions, props, etc. I also wrote a Hermes disassembler and assembler for live patching and execute. Wow. Yeah, nice job, Pilfers. Sean says, I do love my pie hole. I might hit you up, Sean, on like how to best get that sorted out, because I've not done it before. Marcus says, who ate all the pies? Fragberry, LOL, I run Pi-hole on an OG Pi B+. Oh, really? Okay, so it should be fine. Pi-hole has been around for forever. Any Pi should be fine. Okay, cool. You have a TikTok, though. What about that, Pilfers? Oh, in terms of privacy and security? Yeah, I had a buddy bring that up to me, too, because I've talked to him like where I'm like very anti-Facebook. In terms of TikTok, privacy-wise, what exactly am I giving to TikTok on there? Whereas Facebook, they have like my whole, when you first signed up for Facebook, you had your educational background, you had your physical location, your high school, your links to family and friends. None of that is available. Like, I don't provide that to TikTok. TikTok comment was, Ari, you saying you were privacy/security conscious. I am, yeah. That doesn't mean I can't be on TikTok, right? TikTok is a great marketing platform, but they fingerprint the hell out of you. Fingerprint in what way? Like identifying me? Birth date, Marcus. I limit they can identify me by my device when I'm accessing it, but there's also ways that you can deal with that too. Right, Pilfers? Identifying you, your device, your network, etc. Yeah. But there's things that I could do with that, right? Where I can put it on an isolated network. I can put it on an isolated device that doesn't, that type of things. I'm not doing that, to be completely honest and transparent with you. But I'm just saying, like, if I was that concerned to that level with it, then there's options. So, that's a fair point. Yes. There are gaps in my what am I saying there? There are gaps in my principles. Is it a principle? Would we say it's a principle? Like, I still use Instagram, even though I'm not a fan of Facebook. Things like that, right? Where I'm like, am I really standing by 100% to those things that I'm saying? No. And I'll willingly admit it, though. Like, I'm not trying to deny it. So there is that. I hope that at least saves some face by saying that. Marcus says, some people restore their hard drives on a daily basis. Really? Pilfer says, I literally reverse engineered that entire app for Android. Anyways, I still have logs kicking around proving it was sending data directly to Beijing. Which app are you talking about? Pi-hole? Are you talking about Pi-hole, Pilfers? I'm still catching up on old chat messages, so just a heads up. Click your address bar and press P. No, thank you. Rose says yes, but could you see the difference in the store, or did they just continue with the same account? That I don't know, Royalty, because it got taken down before I can really look at that. I know for sure that there's a new dark PDF extension up on the marketplace. I assume under a different account now that the other one was taken down, and I assume it's in response to the other one being taken down, and it's either the same company that's behind it or just somebody else that, like we saw in the issues here, that was talking about like somebody needs to, you know, make an alternative. Somebody could have just forked this repo and rebuilt it, right? So there is that. Or at least see. Incoming ad break. Did I miss it? No, it's coming up now. Birthday, identifying your device. Pilfer says it all happens in native libraries and is heavily obfuscated with OLLVM. On top of that, there is, or was, when I looked into it, a local proxy server for transcoding files, just a curl wrapper. Is this all in TikTok you're talking about, or Pi-hole? TikTok, okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate that insight. I mean, you're convincing me more and more to just get it off my phone. I don't really use it that much, I'll tell you that too, as of lately. I do like the content on it though. What about in the browser, Pilfers? What if, because you can access TikTok from your browser. What's been have you done any research or digging into that aspect of it? Browser is fine. Maybe I just go that route from now on, because I do like the different like developer content on there. That's why I'm on it. You know, just a lot of positive stuff that comes from there. Positive information and content. So that's what draws me back into it. But I in the reality of things, I can very easily go on without it. But they only have access to browser APIs. Yep. Marcus says, my win of the week. Thank you, Marcus, for sharing your win of the week. Is finally got around to using Quest PDF, so I can now create PDFs for free. Nice. Congrats on that, and thank you for sharing with us.
About to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Builder. There's an ad running for 90.
Oh, sorry, Builder. WhatsApp is another one that shares your data. Yes, definitely could see that. You know what? I'm gonna do it right now. Uninstall TikTok thanks to Pilfer's. Well, hold on. I'll forever be against TikTok. Got an ad. Yep. Hold on, chat. Do that.
This just became a job.
There you go, Pilfers. Although it's not going to save you from the current ads, but maybe after. And Build the Builder too, so pop it in. Thanks, Dad. No problem, buddy. Are we back from ads yet? Hey, thank you for the follow, Pilfers. 15 seconds for ads.
Welcome in and thanks for joining.
Rugmat, good to see you. How you been? Happy Friday. What's your win of the week, Rugmat? You hear him now. Okay. So Pilfers, what I was saying is I'm gonna, because of you, appreciate you. Do you have like links to your research that you've done too and things like that that you're allowed to share? Or is there things up on GitHub or something like that? I'm removing TikTok right now, thanks to you. I have no real need to keep going on it. So there's that. Boom, done. Thank you, Pilfers. Keep me to my word. We doing Wordle? Yes, we will be doing Wordle shortly. I was just finishing up my story about how I got hit with malware, Rugmat. Marcus was saying WhatsApp is another one that shares your data. Yeah, I never use WhatsApp. And I encourage lots of family members not to use WhatsApp. For the most part, none of them do. And then Build a Builder, good to see you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. What's your win of the week if you got one to share? Pilfers, I read right before the ads were going. You said your research got it banned on government devices, Dominion Energy devices, and I consulted for a few Fortune 500s to explain why it's no bueno. I got you. No, I appreciate it. It's super. I'm glad to have you here telling me all that. Pilfer says most of it was done privately. Last time I posted about it publicly, I received death threat. Okay, yeah. Hold up though, 1 second. Okay, Roy Lisi says thinking about your VS Code extension sounds worse. Don't they have connection to a binary for their language service provider? Meaning technically they could run native binaries, or is that limited to VS Code install ones? I stopped using VS Code before I could test that. No, it's funny you bring that up, Roy Lacey. I don't know. I have not done the research myself or like looked into it further, but I have heard of from other. I think I saw it in a YouTube video from like John Hammond or somebody, one of the top-notch or well-known security folks on YouTube. They did a video, I believe, or they tweeted. I forget where I saw it, to be honest with you. But basically, the gist of it is, hackers, when they get access to a machine in a limited format, they can expand their access thanks to VS Code on that machine, because VS Code is a trusted binary on the machine. So I've seen that. I think that kind of aligns with where you're going with it all, and that's something to consider as well. Yes. But then it's like, if you're not using VS Code, what are you going to use? The forks that are out there, like Cursor or something like that. So I know though that VS Code does, and the folks behind it work very hard to keep it as safe and secure as possible. Especially, I mean, it's backed by a very, very strong company, right? So there is that. But again, limit your extensions you're using there. That's the idea behind it. All right, shall we do Wordle while we're waiting to hear back from Pilfers? So chat, we're switching over to Wordle mode, but keep the conversation going. If you got more wins of the week to drop, you couldn't think of one before and you come up with one later, no worries. It's not reserved to just that segment of the show. And that's that. Oh, I was going to show you all actually before we move on to another topic. I used GitHub Copilot to analyze that's not going to be there. I have it. Where did I move it to? Select that folder. And then hopefully Copilot still has my history. No, it doesn't. Oh, I lost my history on it. But basically, to give you an idea, this is the source code for the dark PDF extension. I copied the contents of it to a separate location on my machine here and uninstalled it from the browser. The problem is when I was analyzing it, I was analyzing the source code from where the browser had it installed instead of this location. So my history of analyzing with the AI messed it up. But I can give you an idea. I do at workspace. Let's come down here. Analyze all the code of this browser extension to see if it is doing anything malicious. This generally works pretty well. Oh, but then still doing this, right? Pilfer says, so TikTok at the time that I looked into it logged and exfiltrated your Wi-Fi / network info, device info, all apps you had installed. Huge privacy and human rights concern for a variety of reasons, given who has access to the data, right? Phone carrier info, Google Ad ID, and persisted it across installs, which violates Google Play Store terms of service, among many other things. It was egregious as hell. Okay, I had no idea about all that. So in terms of, let's talk about this though. One of the things that, like, in my mind, that when people were originally, so before becoming aware of what you're sharing, Pilfers, my viewpoint on the whole situation with TikTok and you know, it being a Chinese based company and owned, the original outrage was people were like, oh, they're stealing your data and all that kind of stuff. And my thought process was like, how is that any different than Facebook, which does it very obviously in our faces, and they just make money off. They sell it to advertisers and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like Cambridge Analytica situation that happened back in 2016 or whatever it was. Like, Facebook does that, and to this day they keep getting caught with more and more things that they're doing with users' data. So like, if we're going to be all up in arms, we need to do the same, like, and have this outcry about how TikTok is doing this with a you know, a country that's considered a foreign adversary. Why are we not doing this internally too, or within domestically with companies that are here that are doing similar patterns and behaviors, right? That was my whole thing. Now that doesn't mean that, like, oh, it's okay that I you know, for me personally, that, like, you know, oh, use TikTok, it's better than Facebook. That wasn't the situation for me. The one thing that for me personally, why I was like, okay, well, if this company's taking my data, the one positive is I'm getting a lot of value out of the content on that platform from fellow Americans and across the globe, right? So Pilfer says correct. They're both doing the exact same thing and both are wrong. The difference is China is actively hostile to us on the cyber front. Yes, totally understand. TikTok went to great lengths to hide what they were doing. Yes, but I don't want to say argue. I would say in response to that though, I think Facebook is hiding, I believe, right? And I believe this, giving the patterns of behavior from executive leadership from that company. I believe that they're doing just about the same, and it just keeps getting discovered, and people still keep, giving a blind eye to that, right? So, one of the other big differentiators is that TikTok makes the app not function if you block those requests where they exfil data. Oh, okay. Yeah, Pilfer says they absolutely are. Yeah. So there you have it. But Pilfers, thank you for being here and convincing me to hold more true to my stance on these things. All right. That said, let's see what the AI. I think it should be done analyzing, so I'm going to do that same prompt of the workspace from earlier. Copy this, paste it in here, and see if it comes up with better. No problem. TikTok bad. LOL. Yes, I'm with you on that. I've always felt TikTok was bad, but I, in my mind, was like justifying my use case still, and I really don't have a reason to keep using it. Pilfers, is this like what you do for work? It's funny that this is giving me, oh, you know why? Because I'm using GPT-4o. I think I was using Claude Sonnet when I analyzed it last time. So I'm getting, what is this? Functions like OE, like, okay, just stop. Let's switch to Claude Sonnet and do the same thing here. Is there anything malicious? Please, let me know. Know what you find that it is doing that seems odd or comes across as malware. Let's see if that helps. I'm in a really weird niche somewhere between software engineer and reverse engineer. Okay, cool. Pilfer says open command palette and format code, by the way. Or if you have a beautifier plugin, then use that. I mean, I could, but I have no need to do that, and I don't want to. There you go. See, this is what was going on. This is what I was expecting for when I was getting response earlier in the week about analyzing this code. So it's sending tracking data to this URL, so Amazon AWS. So it looks innocuous in that case. Oh, I gotta go, chat. The front door. So we'll be right back. Play words on stream. We'll pick up where I left off once I'm done with this. Okay. Be right back.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Rugmatbot. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Jack Comas. Welcome in and thanks for joining today J4.
All right, I'm back, chat. This guy was very receptive. So the long guy came. He was very receptive to the issue, and we'll see what happens. He was trying to tell me at his level what he can get approval for is, so basically I got to get my whole front lawn renovated and resodded, is what he's telling me. And he was like, what he can approve at his level is if we split the cost of doing that renovation. And I was like, no, this is no fault of my own that this happened. I've been with you guys for like almost a decade. This is your fault. This is your company's fault. Or basically the person that used to do our lawn was like unethical or something like that is what, and they weren't doing their job. So anyway, he's got to talk to like his senior manager and then regional manager or something like that and figure out if they can approve the claim, or I don't know. But I was like, look, if I'm going to have to pay anything, then I might as well just go with somebody else. And I'm just going to, you know, end things with you guys. So that's it. That's what happened with that. Thank you all for being patient with me while I had to step away to do that. I'm going to go heat up my lunch while you all play this real quick, okay? All right, how we doing, chat? Everybody doing good? We're still here? Still having fun? Thank you for your patience with me. Gotta eat. Got house stuff to deal with. Adulting. I hate saying that, but this is like it's true. Like adult life, you know? All these things you gotta worry about and do. Ooh, well, hot. Switch it to words on stream category. I'm gonna be eating for a little bit. I got leftovers. I grilled a London broil last night with some mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts. So what happened with the lawn? Landscapers end up killing it or something?
An ad is about to start in 5,000
Yes.
milliseconds on Twitch.
Yes,
There's an
Pilfers.
ad running for 90.
So basically, I've been with this company for almost a decade, and I've never had a problem with them. They've always done a pretty good job, like keeping the grass green, weeds down, and everything like that, and I've been happy. So much so that I signed up with them to do like outside pest control too, and that type of thing, because we were getting a lot of stuff coming into the house or whatnot with the kids and whatnot. So yeah, it's been good up until this like past year or so. They had a guy that was servicing the route that I'm on, and he just, I don't know, he let everybody's, it wasn't just me, it was neighbors too. So then when and they never said anything to me, basically, like the company.
Thanks for joining today, Jitsu.
What's up, JT? Oh, Mirror Link, yes, man. So when they drop that in the chat for you. When it started going like this and it wasn't getting fixed, I called them up and then they're like, "Oh, you have chinch bugs." Or I called them up, they sent somebody else out, different from the regular guy that would show up on my route. And they were like, "You have chinch bugs." And I was like, "Okay, well, so how long do you think this will recover?" Because he sprayed to like kill them or something like that. Because they just like eat out the nutrients out of the ground, and then the grass dies out and creates all these patches and stuff. So that guy was like, "Oh, it should come back, within a month." Well, it came back in like all different types of grasses, and it just looks like complete garbage. It's still greenish, but with some dark patches, open patches, bare patches. But it looks like crap. So I called them up again after like a few weeks and things not really improving. And actually, no, I didn't call him up again. The new guy that was on my route came to the door, and I went out to talk to him to be like, "Hey, dude, what's going on? Like, you see this lawn looks like crap. Like, what are we doing here?" And he gave me the whole background of what's happened. Basically, they ended up laying off the guy that was on the route before him because he wasn't doing right by the customers. He was just basically collecting a paycheck, it seems like. That he didn't say it in those words, but I'm paraphrasing. So then I was like, "All right." And he's like, "You need to call them up and talk to them, and management will get involved," that type of thing. So I was like, "All right." So then I did that, and then this guy finally came. He was supposed to come last Friday before stream, and he finally came today. I found out why he hasn't been able to, because I think they're just short-staffed. He was saying that you guys lost. Guys and gals lost. All right, we'll play another round because I got a lot of lunch to eat still. Put lunch break sign up, and then we'll jump into everything. So yeah. So he's short-staffed in the sense he's like this, senior, or he's a manager for the area, and he's the only one managing like more areas than I think he's supposed to, that type of thing. So anyway, I feel bad, but I'm also frustrated and mad. So I'm like, I know this isn't, you didn't do this in person, right? Like, I get that. But also, I'm a frustrated customer that is a long-time loyal customer. You need to do right by me and take care of this. So at first, what he was trying to tell me is like, at my level, I'm allowed to approve where we can, because he's like, you got to renovate the whole entire front lawn now. He's like, it's like all this stuff just has to go. We got to put in new grass. And I was like, okay. And he's like, what I can approve at my level is we basically split it with you. And he tells me, and I'm like, he's like, but I can talk to my, my senior manager and then regional manager to see what they, what they can do that they're allowed to approve of at their level. And so I'm like, yeah, let's wait to talk to them because, and I said to him, like, I am a loyal customer. I didn't do anything wrong here. Like, if I did something wrong to cause this, then I would understand me having to eat the cost of fixing it. But I did nothing wrong here. This was all you. This was the last guy that used to be on this route that caused this. And I was like, my neighbors who are also getting service with you all. Oh, I got to take a call. Hold on.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Francois Goat_dev.
Chat, I'm about to lose my mind. The senior guy is trying to push back on me, saying that I'm gonna have to pay half. Get the hell, because I'm not like a monthly customer, I'm a bi-monthly customer. I don't care. Your guy caused this. Fix it. Jeez Louise, man. Now my food's kind of cold. Just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna get my lawyer and neighbors together and see what we should do about this then. Yeah. I mean, that's what I meant. Well, I didn't mention to that extent, but I mentioned that like my other neighbors are dealing with the same problems because of this guy. Like clearly something happened for this guy to get laid off. Or not laid off, fired.
Welcome in and thanks.
He's like, I don't know how you know that, but da 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 da. I'm like, he's like, I just started in this region. I'm like, well, what are you calling me about? Yeah, before doing your homework, sir. Like, come on now. Again, if and then he's like, I don't know why you keep saying you did nothing wrong. You didn't do anything to cause this damage. I'm like, yeah, because I'm paying you guys to keep my grass looking good. And then you guys, it doesn't, and you guys aren't fixing it. He's like, well, if you were a monthly customer, then we guarantee the lawn because I pay bi-monthly. I didn't know that they even had a monthly. I've been with them for so long. I doubt that they even had that program until now, or you know, whatever. Like, come on. Jeez Louise. Sorry, I'm frustrated, chat. I'm fired up. I don't like confrontation, and I just like, I don't even want to be doing this. Build-A-Builder says, hey, you could go to another company, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Joining today, Ordinary Gamer 30.
Ordinary Gamer says rogue employee. Kinda, I guess. I think it was just an employee that was just not doing their job. So I was like, listen, I think this is extenuating circumstances that you need to go back and, you know, look into this more. Because you kept saying, I don't know how you know this guy got fired or whatever. And I'm like, because I don't want to throw these guys under the bus that were like giving me, you know what I mean? Like the details on that. Sorry, couldn't help it. Yeah, no worries, Builder. I appreciate the joke. The levity in the situation is welcomed. I was like, what does it matter how I know? Like, just do the right thing. Like, I could, if I'm a new customer and you haven't gotten a lot of money out of me yet, you know, like, I don't know, maybe you can push this deal with me, but I've been paying on time. I've added services over time. Just do the right thing. Do right by me. That's all I'm asking. And if you're not going to do right by me, then that's how you operate as a company. Then I don't want to work with you anymore. And it is what it is. If I'm going to have to foot the bill or any part of the bill to fix the problem, I might as well just go with another company. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Plus the cost the guy was telling me, I think overall to them, you know, because he's saying I would have to pay half, and the cost he was saying, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'll share with you, chat. Like, I don't have a big house. I don't have a big piece of property. I don't have a lot of lawn. And it's just the front lawn. It's not even my back lawn. So, just do it. Holy moly. I feel like it's like to the broader, it's a big company. They even work in other states, as far as I understand. Fixing my lawn is a drop in the bucket. To this big company. Sustenance. Just let them know I'm documenting conversations from here on out. Why would I do that? Oh, because that like insinuates that that I'm getting evidence for a lawyer. Yeah. Feel like doing any lunch reading? I'll save it for another time, but thank you, Pilfers. Tossed this up a few weeks ago. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll check it out. All right, play one more round, chat. I'm almost done. Nice job getting to 14. I think you got to 15 last time, right? I appreciate you sharing that, Pilfers. Not sure how deep into security you are. So I am... My background, Pilfers, is more application security as a developer. So like, kind of like you're... You know, you mentioned that you're into reverse engineering and engineering. I more heavily lean on the engineering side, and I consider myself... I mean, I work for a developer security company. Mirror link you want? Here you go, Coach John. I work for a developer security company called Snyk, SNYK. And my background is in application security, so web development, desktop development, that type of thing, and like security aspects of that. So that's the extent of my... Anything outside of that security, you know, outside of that smaller part of the security world, I have differing levels of knowledge and experience. So, oh, you know Snyk? Silly boys over there. What do you mean silly boys over there? Why? AppSec engineer? No, I'm not an AppSec engineer. Song's very relaxing. Nice job getting 3 levels, chat. We're just 3 of you. You've chatted with a few Snyk folks before. They say culture on security side is nice. Where I'm at, the culture is very good too. I'm not in on the security team. I'm a developer advocate. And like my prior role was a developer advocate role, and then before that I was at a company for 7 years, and that's where I got a lot of my development and security experience. What do you mean, Pilfers? Feet cam went no. Sorry, no, I was turning off the GoPro so that it doesn't overheat from the intro of the stream. You feel, so Pilfers, I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You feel developer advocate roles increasingly have a negative outlook on the industry, especially for juniors, is what you're saying? And same with security. Lots of boot camps oversold promises to many vulnerable folks. Turns off GoPro, turns on chat. Easy, easy. Why? What did my chest look like? No, I'm saying I have an increasingly negative outlook. Oh, I got you. I've been very happy in the developer advocate role. There are, I mean, with any role, there are downsides and upsides to them all. For me, the upsides greatly outweigh any downsides, and then the downsides are manageable. So like for me, I definitely feel at times like I might be not getting as much development time, but I have control over that. Like I can make it so that I do, like, that's why I stream on Fridays too. Like it's a forced block of time where I'm gonna keep tinkering away at stuff and keep my skills up from a developer perspective. And then outside of that, I'm doing things like I'm, you know, creating content for the company, connecting with the community and like answering questions and that type of thing and whatnot, among other things, right? Just off the, you know, very top level stuff though. I'm a proponent of burning it all down. No more apps and tech, just chickens and barefoot walking. Okay, I see where you're going, Pilfers. I got you. I got you. So developer advocating, for folks that maybe aren't familiar with that type of role, it's basically, in most cases, although there are probably some exceptions to this, it's not a sneak t-shirt. This is a Node.js. I went to Node.js Interactive, which is no longer called that anymore. It's called something else, Open Source Interactive or something like that. Many moons ago, when I used to do more conferences and travel like that, door-to-door salesman. I mean, there might be some that do behave that way, but not any of the ones that I've interacted with or myself by any means. Oh, dev to dev. Yeah. Dev to dev versus door to door. I knew what you meant though, but yeah. I mean, there is some aspect of it. I do think that there is some sales aspect of it, but like I never get in the weeds of that or get into that realm. We will help the sales team. So like one thing that is unique here on our team versus where I was in the past is we have a group of our team that focuses on doing, well, not just this, but they do a lot of other things too. But they do a lot of workshops for either existing customers or prospective customers that is, to, you know, in a sense, part of the sales process, right? And one of the reasons why we are needed. What's up, Sherwina? One of the reasons why we're needed, or I believe the value in it, is we're basically developers ourselves that are capable of communicating pretty well. Some more, some better than others, that type of thing. That's not to say that other, you know, people that are in just strictly developer roles aren't good at communicating. It just means that they maybe are missing out on this type of role, and they could be good at this type of role. That's all I'm saying there. But that, generally speaking, it's a unique role that takes a certain set of skills, a combination of skills, both engineering, technical skills, and then soft skills, communication, and that type of thing. Hey, we'll be taking off now, feeling sleepy. All right, Pranav, get some rest. I know it's late over by you. Appreciate you hanging out a little bit. If all DAs unionized, they could be called engineers with eye contact. What? But hopefully that helps explain it a little bit. Give some better context. All right, I'm done eating. I might refill this water while you all finish out, seeing if you can beat your record for today. Got to get to level 15 or more. So what you're saying is you're a NPM install influencer? Do not. How dare you call me an influencer, pilfers? How dare you? I hate that word. But I ain't mad at you for saying
An ad
that.
is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch.
I can understand why you would say
There's
something
an ad
like that,
running for 90.
but yeah, I guess you could say that in a sense. All right, I'm gonna refill my water. I'll be right back. Y'all are still going strong. Nice job, chat. Did I miss anything, chat? All right, I'll start contributing to the game now. What a day. What a week. What a week. Prune. Oh, prune didn't work. Rune. Veneer. Prune didn't work. Meep. Veen. Never. Okay, I got never. So I think P is fake, right? How do you spell ravine? Is R-E-V-I-N-E? Earn. I did that. I must have been locked. Revenue. Nice job, Coach on. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. I guess Y is fake. Oh, I is hidden. I is hidden. Nice job, Ordinary Gamer. Limey. Nice job, May. Emit, yes. That's what I was trying to spell. Got it wrong. M-I-E-T. Great job, chat. Let's keep going. Level 18. We already beat the record for today. Oh. Every day. Hey, I got it. Every day. Every day I'm hustling. Nice. Look at us. Oh, I might have to bring out the notepad. Yeah, we're level 21, so it's going to be hidden answers. I'll write them down, okay? best outcomes yet. Mouthful. Oh, I was typing in the wrong thing. Ordinary gamer got it. Humanity. Nice. Good job. Mega human. Use these letters. Ordinary gamer got unity. Nice job, ordinary gamer. Manatee, does that work? No. May got minty. Haunt, okay, I got you. Haunt. Anti. Haunt. Just need one more word and we're good. Mutant? Mutant? How do you spell mutant? Mutant. Mutiny. Of amity. Nice. Mutiny. That one work? Yeah, it did work. Mutiny. That's what I was thinking. Mutant won't work because there was only one T. I got it right the last second, Orient Gamer. Nice job. What is Mina? Mina? I don't know. What was it? What does that mean? Define Mina. Nice job, Rugmat. Any of various Asian starlings. A dark brown, slightly crested bird. Oh. Today I learned. Thank you, Ordinary Gamer and Rugmat. Here we go. In the harmony level, I got you. Bird, yes. Fowl. Ooh, Ordinary Gamer got blowfish. BLOWFISH. May, would you get blows? Wolfish. May got flows. Wolves. Wolves. Owlish. Lowish. Bowls. Fish. Oh. Got it. Nice job, Ordinary Gamer. Fowls. That's what I was trying to think of. I just did foul and I didn't do the S.
Welcome in and thanks.
What's up, Mary Jo?
Mary
Stiebler. How you doing? What's happening? What you win of the week? Nice job, Chad. This is gonna be our best one in a long time. Mary Jo, good timing. You're getting to witness history. Mary just a Blair. All right. Next round. Good. How am I doing? I'm doing good. A little bit of a rough week, but overall, cannot complain. Doing good. What's this one? Boredom. Why am I typing it there? It's boredom. I knew it. B-O-R-E-D-O-M-E. Ordinary gamer got bedroom. Code with Sean. What'd you get? Bored. Mary Jo, you said win of the week, slayed a bug with no remorse. Congrats on that. Thank you for sharing. Roomed. Broom. Brood. Mood. Nice job, May Romeo. Robbed or robed. Oops. No V, no V. Yeah. Look at these letters up here. Boredom. We got a little bit to go, chat. It's gonna be a tough one. I don't know. Ah. Nice job, chat. Level 27. It's been a while since we got that high of a level. That's huge win. Huge win. Another win of the week right there for all of us, huh? Big shout out to May, Ordinary Gamer, the plus 300, nearly 400 points there. Code with Sean, myself, Build the Builder, Sherwina, Huggins, Mary Jo, and Jawer. Appreciate you all. Thank you for joining in on that fun. We're going to stop it there. Lunch break's got to be over. Got to be over. We had a lot of off the lunch. Great game all. Yep. Enjoy. Go with Sean. Thanks for playing with us and hanging out, buddy. Yes. All right. So just to close out the whole story about how I got hit with malware. For those of you just tuning in, I had a browser extension installed that was perfectly fine before, but then another company took over. So it was a supply chain attack, basically. That extension, and I gotta change categories. And then my browser was like, hey, we disabled this extension because it was found to be malware. I was like, great. And they gave me no further explanation as to why. So thanks to some help from somebody else in the community that wrote a blog post on what was going on, I found out that a company bought the extension from the original developer, or some transaction happened. And then they kept a bunch of these extensions, not just this one extension, but a bunch of them intact, but injected some malware in it. And what the malware does, that I was trying to figure out and find out from the browser vendor that flagged it as malware, you think they would have this information somewhere, but they don't, as far as I know, is that it's doing affiliate fraud and browser history tracking, basically. So privacy tracking, or that type of thing. So in which case, when I asked, what I then did was like, all right, let me, since they obfuscate the code like this, rather than trying to figure it out myself, and like, I mean, I could sit here and go through everything and learn what it's doing, but I was like, let me, this is a good use case for AI to read the code and understand what's going on. So that's what I did. And I had it originally. My original conversation with Copilot got lost because I moved the location of where the extension code was. And right before we went on that lunch break and all this stuff happened with my lawn that I had to go talk to the guy about outside, we got a response like this from Claude Sonnet 3.5. So what it's doing is it was going to this endpoint, passing in this data. What it would do is it would open up a new browser window that's a 1x1 pixel as a pop-up. Don't focus it, so it'll be behind the scenes, and then it passes in the URL T. that URL would be that with tracking data tacked onto it, which was user ID, this stuff we can find out here. URL manipulation. This is where they would inject the affiliate codes into URLs for certain e-commerce sites that they have affiliation set up with, and then they can get a kickback on any sales that were made through those affiliate links that they were injecting in there. And then this is the type of data that they were exfiltrating browser history on. Refer, so document refer, and then navigator, well, language, I don't think that really matters too much, but the document refer, like how did I get to that? And then the current URL. Let's see. So, yep. And persistent mechanisms. Uses Chrome Storage APIs to maintain persistence across sessions. While the extension claims to be a dark mode implementation for PDFs, it contains code that tracks user behavior, creates hidden windows, modifies web page content, sends data to external servers, and uses obfuscated minified code to hide functionality. So like this is like the first red flag. The fact that why you don't need to minify browser code in most cases. I don't know, but maybe there's a use case out there for doing something like that, but I would think that's limited to none.
Today, bald-bearded builder.
Triple B. Same answers as last week, huh, buddy? Reminder to change your Twitch category. I just did. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate the reminder. C is fake. Thanks. As you put in couch. So the thing that worried me the most is that it's modifying web page content, and that, in my mind, it had me a bit worried in that it was like able to have access to form data, in which case if I logged into a site, then maybe you could capture that and send that, exfiltrate that data out. And so then as a precaution, I haven't seen anything happen, thankfully, but as a precaution, I've been going through and looking at my browser history, and then, well, not just that, but like right away went to all major super important and sensitive sites and changed my passwords on those that I might have gone on. I typically don't do a lot of sensitive stuff on this machine. I have a separate laptop that I do, like when I got to do banking and whatnot. So there is that. C is for cookie. Yes, Mary, just a blur. So anyway, this is how the AI was able to help me. A 1 hour warning now, going back to work. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you, buddy. Hope work keeps going well, buddy. I do want to see, like when it says modify, let's ask it. For item 3, what in particular is the extension? I should probably add workspace. This is one thing that's super annoying about this. Just know. For item 3, what in particular is the extension doing that modifies web page content? Is it capturing any data from the web page content and sending it to external services? Let's see if it does that. Anything about that. So for those that are just tuning in and hearing me talk about C is for cake, but we know it's a lie. For those that are just tuning in and learning of the fact that I got hit with this malware from a browser extension, I believe I'm limited in exposure to it because I would only enable this extension when I needed it, and then I would turn it off. However, there are some exceptions to that where I might have forgotten to turn it off, and I would then realize and turn it back off. So there is that. After analysis of the code, I found concerning behaviors related to web page content modification and data collection and tracking. So it's only this stuff. I don't know what you do with this information. Maybe other people can know better than me. Like, this is to like uniquely identify me, I think, for the most part, like using all the combination of this data, right? And then this stuff is probably the most, not that, the refer and the current URL is probably the most sensitive information they can probably gather. And at times those could potentially contain query parameters that have sensitive data in it as well, like access tokens or things like that. So that's something of concern. But in general, I'm not worried about my browser history being, I mean, I don't want my browser history being taken and sent elsewhere without my permission. But I don't really have anything that's concerning in that regard, other than potentially like risking my personally identifiable information and stuff like that, you know. Hidden window creation. All right, we knew that already. And then URL link modify creates that invisible pixel windows that could be used to load content without user awareness. Yes. This code modifies web page URLs and links by intercepting links, adding tracking parameters, potentially redirecting through their servers. Okay, so when it comes to manipulating content on the page, all they were doing in that regard, it seems, based on the code that's analyzed here, is it's for the affiliate fraud. And I imagine, so the objective by these people or this company or individual that injected this malware in here, what I'm guessing based on what's happening here is they don't want to go to the extent of stealing people's logins, which I'm surprised they didn't go to that extent. But it seems like they care more about getting money more legitimately, or like not more legitimately, because they're still doing it illegitimately. But I feel like maybe if they probably perceive it as a gray area of whether it's ethical or not, right? Because from their perspective, they're like, I'm just adding in my affiliate parameters into their links here, like this, right? Based on, let's say they have an affiliate account with Amazon. And basically, anytime, what this would do is it would detect anytime I went to Amazon, and if I made a purchase or went to make a purchase, they would inject their affiliate link in there so that Amazon would be like, oh, this affiliate of ours is the one that directed this customer that led to that customer making a purchase. We give them a kickback for that, right? That's how the affiliate thing works for them. So I feel like in their mind, I'm trying to put my like hacker hat on here, right? Like from their perspective, they're like, oh, this is a gray area. It's not really above board, but all I'm doing is injecting my affiliate link, and then I can make money this way on these popular Chrome extensions. And they still get the functionality that they want. And then I think when it comes to this, so that's that extent, right? I think that they're grabbing this stuff to know what other sites, e-commerce sites, users might be going to, and then they probably would do that to create affiliate accounts with those other sites that they may not already have an affiliate account with, and then they'd start adding that to their, their supported sites that they can get kickbacks on. That's what I think is probably the motivation behind this, based on that. Now, am I certain of that? No, but that's what I think the motivation of it was. They likely don't want to go to the extent where they're like just completely hijacking people's accounts and making money very illegally. Like I say that again from the perspective of this attacker or this attacker group or whatever, this company. They don't want to go to that extent, but they'll go to this, what they feel is this gray area where they're like, oh, I'm just harmlessly adding some parameters to our URL. What is that? That's not harming anybody, So. Mary Jo says, for browser behavior, where are you going to and from? Like Google Analytics. Yep. Pilfer says, I pioneered this method bad in 2009. Oh yeah? I had a fleet of cross-browser extensions that injected ads, added affiliate links, and replaced them. I got you. Yeah, I figured you meant back. So now you're on the... Wait, so you went from like the black hat side to the white hat side is what you're saying? I feel like that's the way most people go, huh? They start off doing nefarious things and they're like, they get a conscience or something, and then they're like, I can make good money in a fair way by just doing this for the good guys and gals. I wonder if you like interviewed most people in those types of positions, if that's their story. I definitely did when I was in high school, I did some sketchy web stuff. Pilfer says, I got my start writing game cheats, then got into affiliate marketing, etc., and then back into reverse engineering. I got you. Nice. Very cool. Well, glad to hear you're on the good guys side. All right, so that I'm going to close that out. I'm basically going to make a video of that for Sneak in the upcoming weeks, going through that story, and the title is going to be how dark mode got me hacked, because I feel like that's, dark mode versus light mode from a developer community side, very hot topic. So I'm gonna play off of that, and we will move on to the Discord bot. I got my start right now. I allegedly once caused Facebook to roll back all feeds by over an hour. XSS worm, nice. allegedly, what had happened was... All right, give me a second here. We're going to get connected to GitHub code spaces for the Wordle bot.
An ad is about to start
after
in
this ad.
5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
Pilfers is a Facebook influencer. Influence them to roll back feed. Well put, Sean. Well put. All right, so the first thing I need to address or figure out with the Wordle bot, and to get everybody up to speed in terms of like, let me close that and get a new instance of VS Code open. They threatened me with a lawsuit eventually. Eesh. All right, let's do this. New. Close that. Open that. Connect to code space. Did they actually follow through with that lawsuit? All right, connecting to the code space now. In the meantime, what we'll do is two things. One, for folks that... Oh, I didn't do the Wordle today. Chat, how did you let me just skip over Wordle and connections? You tail tucked and said sorry, guys. Hey, fair enough. How did you all let me get away with not doing Wordle today? Well, I'll do it as part of this as we go through. So, I built a Wordle bot specific to We're Horrible Friends. I built a Wordle bot that captures whenever we enter in our Wordle results as part of the Discord community. So again, shout out to the Discord if you want to stay in touch off stream, since I only stream once a week, but I am fairly active, daily active in my Discord server. The link to that is through that. Click clarkio.com. Words. Click on clarkio.com if you'd like to join up there. And then we have a Wordle channel where you share your results. Okay, as you can see here. And then what would happen is the Wordle bot would respond. It'd capture your results, store them to the database, and then if it would see if you are the winner for that day based on how many attempts you've gotten, and whoever gets it in the least amount of attempts is the winner for the day. Right? That's about it. Again, Wordle channel under Game Fun category. That said, the other day, yesterday in particular, it decided to not count. So everybody between Rugmat, Huggins had 4 attempts was the best at the point in time, and I got it in 4 attempts. And typically what would happen then is it would add me to that list. So it would say me and Rugmat essentially tie as winners because we got it in 4 guesses. And I didn't get listed. Didn't even track it, I don't think. We'll see. Actually, I can check in the database. So it clearly is a bug. But then what's funny is then Frackberg comes in. Oh no, that was for a new one, right? 1244. No. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is what's funny. So it went for game Wordle number 1244, 1244. Huggins should have been the winner for that one because no, not Huggins, Rugmat. I mean Rugmat. Sorry, words. My brain ain't braining. With 4, Frackberg comes in with 5, and the Wordle bot's like, "Yep, you're the winner now," even though that's worse. It was completely borked. So I got to fix the bot. I got to fix that bug. So I need to figure out what the problem is, how that happened, and then push the changes. Seems perfectly perfect to you? Yeah. Of course it does. Of course it does. So we need to see, what was that? It was 1244, right? So here it is. No errors going on here. Then... Oh, Rugmat had 4 too? I think that's what might be where it's bugged, because Rugmat didn't have it in 4, did it? Rugmat had it in 4, Mark had it in 5. And then oh, okay, that's when it errored out. Mark, you broke the bot on your submission at 10:44 a.m. I don't think that correlates to my time. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, 10:44 a.m. Maybe it's because when you put text afterwards, that breaks it. I wonder. We should test that out. Error creating document. No winner change, so no message to send. Oh, it wasn't Mark. So that finished. And then it was at 6:02 p.m. So I think I broke it myself. Yeah, it was me. I broke it. Sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to put you in the line of fire right there. Source client TS app write exception. So I was trying to write to the database and that failed. I wish I knew where that happened. It was during the query. Oh, weird. That got added in as the object? What? What does the database look like? We got to see this. Database. Yeah. Results. Schmerple. Let's filter. What's up, JT? Equals 1244. No. Game number equals 1244. Okay, no, it didn't get saved to the database like that. It never got mine. For whatever reason, mine didn't get saved to the database. So what was it about that one? That's interesting. There's something about my message. Is it the star? That's a separate message. It's this one. Internet connectivity? Or internet connection? I mean, that's not a bad question to ask. That's a good idea. Maybe something just happened network-wise in that moment in time. Let's bring this over here so they're together. It's easy. Like maybe the database just broke? I don't know. It seems like it's restarted the server too. At this point in time. It goes 6:02 in 10 seconds. It's like no winner change, so no message to send. And then 6:02 and 28. And it's like running bun. That's what we do when it starts up. And then I tried to send it again, I think. And I deleted that message. Undefined is not an object. It's for the game number. Scores for largest game, 0. Alright, so we're getting somewhere. Where the bug is happening. Somewhere in here. Line 179. Let's search for this. Where's that happening? Probably got to sync some changes. Oh, I was working on this too. So the other thing I was working on last weekend after last stream, I was starting to make it to where there was a separate server that hosted everything. So what I need to do is git checkout -b server setup. Git add that. Git commit -m initial. We'll say work in progress. Setting up a server. Okay. Git checkout main. Git pull. All right, so now we're back in line with what's in main. Okay. So I don't lose all those changes. So I gotta find that. Process Wordle results. I gotta remember what is AppWrite? Not AppWrite, render. startup script is bun source server ts. Bun source server ts. Okay. So here, something about this caused it to get this error. Undefined is not an object. So why would score? Basically, it's scores for largest game came back as empty. It's undefined. Where is that coming from? Wordle results data. You know what I think this is a result. We talked about this on last stream. I think I put it down in here as something to do. Remove code that loads all database data into memory and replace with DB queries where needed. I think this is a result of trying to track all of the data in memory. Check the laptop, perhaps. JT doing the callback from years ago where I had my bot running on a separate computer. Thanks for the reminder. It's a good question to ask, but I think this is a result of me having everything load up in server. It wasn't you this. I know, Frackberg, I know. So basically what's happening, or what I want to get rid of doing, is at the beginning, when this thing first starts up, I tell it to go get all of the data, you know, which is like thousands of rows, from the database and store it in memory like that. The reality is I need to do that whenever, like I need to do that on command, basically. Or rather, let's think about why I'm using this. So let's find all references to here. In all the places where I'm doing this, I'm trying to see if the Wordle result that's getting processed that triggered this whole thing to happen, I'm trying to see if it exists already or not. But basically, I need to swap this out. Replace this with a call with a query, with a database query to check if the result already exists. That's going to be a better way to handle that. And then this find latest game number. I don't know if that's going to have to change too. Like, how can I determine the latest game number? What's the most accurate and efficient way we can determine the latest game number, chat? So like today's is 1245. Should we assume that the one being processed is the latest game number? I think we could do that, right? I think what we could do is we can take the game number provided from the one that's being processed and see if there's any that are greater in the database. We'll query the database to see if there's any that are greater than that. The problem is it stored? I forget. Did I store it as a number? Let's look at the index, attributes. It's an integer. Okay. So then I can do a math compare query. I think that's how we do it, and that's what we're going to do today before the end of time. Before the end of time. Replace with a database query to see if there are any results with a game number greater than current game number. Yep. All right, so let's start with this first query. We need to see if there is so I believe my DB functions have the capability of passing in a query. So we need to just figure out, we'll just do list documents. We'll call list documents. Let's close out everything else except server. So we're going to say const potential existing docs or results, let's say, equals list documents. I need to say undefined. What's one of those again? Yeah, database ID. We'll say undefined. And then we're going to create a query where game number. Ooh, look at that. Will that work? I wonder. And then we're going to say, if not, well, I got to see what this is going to return something all the time, right? This returns a promise and it's never undefined. It might just be an empty array, right? Also, we got to do a wait on that. All right, let's just figure out what the right query is though. I don't know if it seems like where is not available. Yeah. So I got to learn that. Queries. Say query, not title, but we would say user ID is equal. You can combine them, right? There's the greater than. We could do that for the other one. How do you do ends, right? Where's the end? Oh, query end. All right, so we need a query end. We wrap that all like that. Okay. And then we have our two queries. And the first one is going to be query equal. Do I need to parse int that though? I forget. Am I already parse inting this? Find all references. Yes, I am. Okay. Parse int. Okay. So that should be an integer already. And then user ID, we're going to say equal. User ID. What's the problem with this? Filter. What's the error? Expected one argument but got two. Oh, because it's got to be an array. Got the square brackets. Okay, so let's see what that results in. Hey, thank you for the follow, Best Hef. Appreciate you. We can run this now. Bun run source server.ts. I'm gonna do watch. I need a console.dir. And then just return for now. Don't do anything else. Will it work? Also, do I gotta go to my test server to do this? Just copy Frackberg's results here. No results from processing the latest Wordle result. Okay, so it comes back as like that. Total and documents. I forgot that. That's how it does it. So what we're gonna do is we'll say if potential existing results dot total equals 0. What? Possibly undefined. Is it really? Let's try it like that. All right, so that time it came back. Oh shoot, I gotta delete that one too. Because it's like storing it as actually mine in the database. It's saying result already exists. Right, it should already exist. So let's go to the database, delete that. 12:45. Delete that. Add it back. Try sending it again. Let's delete these messages so we don't keep. Oh, I think that's coming from somewhere else. The no results thing. We can ignore that. That's because I'm returning and not running anything else. All right, so that's good. So it's saying I'm confused. Is it adding it or is it clear this? Run it again. Delete it from the database one more time. Oh no, that's rug mats. Sorry. I almost deleted rug mats. Oh, it's not showing up in there. Game number equals 12:45. Okay, good. It's not there. That's weird. Hold on, chat. Kiddo got back home from school. All right, I got limited time, chat. Limited time. About 28 minutes. Say 20 minutes of working on this more, and then go from there. All right. If I paste it, I need to bring this back up. Paste that back in again. Oh, so it didn't do that. And if I send it again... Hold on. It's still saying it. Okay. Where were we? Now, it shouldn't be showing in the database. It should be adding. Well, no, it's not going to add anything because... And rightfully so. I don't want it to be adding anything just yet. Because it doesn't exist. So it's basically coming in here. I should have console.log. Result does not exist in the database. Processing it now, like type of thing. So that way I know what I'm doing. That it's hitting the correct, like this logic makes sense. Yep, okay. So we're hitting the right branch. So if I get rid of this, all right, I'm going to try and grab a nap and see if I can finally kill this migraine. Have a good weekend, everyone. Oh man, sorry to hear you got a migraine, Frackberg, but appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. Catch you around. Message was determined to not be for the bot. Somebody in there sending messages? Spoilers. I need to switch it to use my other Discord as well. But it is what it is. It's a spoiler for an old one for everybody. Rugmat. Actually, we should see if it has my result from that. If I enter that again, what does the bot do with that? Let's see. Did it end up sending that message too? No, it didn't. Okay. Interesting. Latest game number it figured out was that. Even though I added that to the oh, so that's added to the database now, since it wasn't there before. Latest game number was that. Oh, the other thing I gotta realize that this is running. Oh my gosh, I'm competing with the one that's deployed right now. This makes me realize I need like a test environment. I need like a dev environment or test environment so that I don't mess up. Let's switch to game number equal to 1244. What? Oh, not end. That's why. Okay. Oh boy, we got two of them in here. Rugmat, Mark, and then two from me. Why? That's because it's two instances of the bot running. Ah! Strange 2x. Thank you for the follow. Okay. Well, it's fixable enough. It should have added me as a winner, though. There's that. All right, so anyway, we got that logic working, though. Get rid of that. So we're going to check the database where it exists. Now we need to do this one. So let's actually commit those changes. Stop this from running. Git add dot. Git commit. Somebody's knocking.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch.
Query
running for 90
db. Fix query db for existing results. Git push. So that'll make the changes live in production. All right, now we just need to do one more. Find latest game number. So what I think we need to do is we need to we're going to do another list document. So we're going to say const How do we do this? Latest game number DB. We're going to say equals await list documents undefined undefined, and the query is going to be query dot greater than game number. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Thing is, to test this out, I don't want to run it against the database. How do I want to do this? Can I test it against the database? I mean, worst case scenario, I just clean the database up, right? You know what? I wish you could sort. But they don't let you sort. I think they automatically sort by created and updated. See, it has my 1243, but it doesn't have 1244 in there. Why? Oh, there it is. All right, chat. The other thing I need to do before we go. All right, I'm going to pause it there. I'll work on this off stream. I need to do the Wordle on stream so you all can hold me accountable. So for those that don't know, we've been doing, part of why we built this bot is because we've been doing this competition where if I get the Wordle in 3 or less guesses, I get a point. If it takes me more than that, you all get a point. If I fail completely, then you get 3 points. Hence this message here. Okay. So far, you all are up by 4, and I basically need to win out for the rest of the year in order to win overall for the year. Because we're saying the end of the year is the time to call for it. To figure out the results for the year. So come January, we'll figure that out. So let's see if I can get this in time. Taken. Ooh, okay. Talkie? Walkie-talkie? Tank top? Like T-A... Is that a word? Talk? Does it end in that? Or does it end X-K-Y like that? Tanky? No. I think talkie. Tacky? It could be tacky. Send it. Yes! Oh! Got it. All right, let's make sure this one's not running. Okay. And make sure the other one is up and running. Let's clip this right here for future reference in case this error comes up again. I guess it'll log it again anyway, right? Did this actually, did it redeploy, I wonder? Yes, it just did. Okay. So we should be good. Let's look at the logs again. Yeah, your service is running. Cool. Alrighty, let's add our results here. I should be the winner. Yeah, instantaneous. Me and Rugmat are tied for winners. It was crazy. The bot responded faster than the database logs showed up in here. All right, so it's working again. That's cool. All right, and so now that gives me a point. So let's edit this. I'm gaining on you, chat. 3 points away. What's today? Today is the 15th. 5, save. Nice job, chats. For me. Haha. All right, cool. Fixed the bug. Talked about the malware stuff. Wins of the week. Dealt with some lawn stuff. And we can maybe try and make sure that the data is all squared away here real quick. Yep. We're looking Gucci there. As for this, we can test this out since we got time. I got a few more minutes. I feel like we can do this. Rugman says you were supposed to get it in 2. Yeah. Well, close enough. All right. All that latest game number is for us to. Oh, and then I filter like that. You know what I should do? I should just do... When someone submits a Wordle, I should just get all of the Wordles with that game number, and then in memory do the check to see if there's one with that user ID. That way I already have the latest results from the database for that game number. And then I can check right here. I can just, this logic can essentially go away. And I can just go to determine the winners with these existing results. So long as that is available. Right? I feel like that's what I should do. I feel like that's what I should do. I'm not going to have the time to do that right now as much as I really want to. I'm like itching to do that. But let's put a little note in here to do refactor this to get all results for just the game number. Then check if the user ID already exists in the results in memory here. That way we can determine the winners for that game number without not having to query. Let's just say more easily. That's what I think we need to do. I'll work on that off stream, but you get the idea. So I need to, basically I got to fix my logic, and I think that will result, that would avoid us in this whole thing, right? Because that's where the error was coming up in the logs on render. Let's do last 7 days. If we go back long enough. Where are the errors at? They were logged. There they are. It was right around. It's weird, it doesn't show there. Yes, type error. Undefined is not an object. Right around here where we're getting scores for largest game. So basically we're in the function where we're trying to determine the winner. That's in determine winner. Determine winner. Wait a minute. Yes, see? So what I was doing is I was using the in-memory array of data, filtering based on the game number, but that came back as undefined essentially. So when I come in here and it was like, hey, get game number, it was saying this is undefined, right? Min attempts winner's latest game number. Min attempts winner's latest game number. Yes, undefined is not an object. That was the problem. Which I thought would just, yeah, you know why? Because I'm trying to grab the index of an array, of an undefined array, so that's why. Which is weird. What would cause that to be undefined? What would cause that to be undefined is if this is undefined. And where that gets passed into is right here. This came back as undefined. Because the Wordle results, for some reason, yeah. So basically what we could do is we'll cut out all of this, even that, right? And instead we'll have, you know, results for current game number, right? And we cut that out and go like that. And then we'll say, you know, say const existing results for user equals results for current game number documents find, where doc user ID equals the parse Wordle user ID, right? That's the problem here. It's possibly undefined. Say or, yeah, do it like that. So it's never undefined at least. And then we'll say, okay, if this should return nothing undefined, right? A document or undefined. Yep. So we'll say if if there's not an existing user, then we do this. Otherwise it already results, but we have all the results. And then we can pass in, yeah, we can pass in that. The problem is that it's not going to be in that same format as user score, which I think I'd have something where it does cast that anyway somewhere. Why do I do that somewhere? Yeah, right here. I do map as user score. Or instead of that, we're going to say, yeah, we don't need to do this anymore. So that we know. I can't test this just yet, but it's fine. I'm kind of doing the work. I'm just not gonna be able to test it. I'm not gonna have time to do it. So we're gonna say results.documents right there. Results as user score. There we go. Latest game number. Why do I do that? I already have the latest game number. Right there. Scores for latest game. I already know what it is. Why do I gotta do it a second time? Results latest game number. Results, yeah, latest game number is right there. Why do I do that twice? Seems weird. I think that's it. That logic should check out. But we can still do this logging, right? Console.log. We'll use it as scores. I think we just get rid of all that. Now we don't need to do that second database call to figure out what the latest game number is. Who cares? We'll just assume whatever the game number that got submitted Is there any bugs with that though in that logic? Are there edge cases? So let's say I submit a new game number. Let's say it's 1246 because we're up to 2045. 246. We're gonna get, this is empty. Results for current game number. This is gonna be empty. This is gonna be empty. So when we add it, ooh, that's gonna be a situation. All right, so the logic is not sound. I need a to do still. So this is close, but not quite there. To do, handle, yeah, where the game number is not found in the database. Well, handle when it's a new game number. Yep, that was just added. Because we have document added here. So if that's the case, we need to requery the document, or we can push this document onto this. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. So results for current game number, documents push. Yeah. Just do that. No, not Wordle, just document added. Problem is, what is returned from document added? Create document return. It's model document, which is, yeah, we gotta so as model document, then I gotta say const document added user score equals document added dot map. It doesn't know what they are. Can I spread it? Document added dot user ID. Document added dot username. Document added dot game number. Document added dot attempts. What's the problem? Oh, we gotta do it like this. User ID. Username. Game number. Oh. Not attempts. What do we call it? Oops. Yeah, attempts. Okay. Right. Say as user score. Yeah. What? Argument of type user score is not assignable parameter type never. What do you mean never? I can never push to this? We're gonna say model. Oh. Nope. Model. Dot. Models. Dot document. Why is that not available? It's saying it's an any. That ain't any. Models dot document. I got models right here. Type models. What's the problem, dog? Can I use namespace models as a value? Say any. It's assuming this. Say as model document list. We gotta say total. Generic type document list requires one type argument. Oh yeah. Models document. And then we don't need to do this. We can say just document added. That makes it happy. Then we can map over. Okay, we don't need to do this whole user score thing. Does this return? Yes, but that's okay because we're only doing this push. Okay, I fixed it. All right. So telling it that it's this type, right? We're always going to be returning an array or document list of documents. That's what we're doing here. We're setting it's like either that or an empty one, right? And then if in that case it won't find it, it'll be 0. So we're saying, okay, it doesn't exist. Add the document to the database. We get that returned to us as a document. And then we push that into our local in-memory array of the latest game results for that current game. And that way we have it. And it's in here and we can get the latest score. So, all right, that covers that scenario when it's a new game number. We're Gooch. We're Gucci. I think we should do that before we log it. Because then we know for sure results was added to the well, yeah, it's fine. Result was added to the database. And we have it ready and good to go. This will be just an array of 1, which is that one we just pushed to it. It gets mapped to 1 score. We determine winners. That's going to grab it as a user score, which we already did that mapping as into a user score, in which case we have access to the attempts, the user ID and username, and everything should work. And now we can get rid of this function. Anything that's not used anymore, right? Or deleting code. Love it. Is there anything else? What other functions can I delete? Anything else? I think we did this. Refactor this to get all results from the game number, then check if the user ID is already in the results in memory here. That way we can determine, yep, we did that. We did that. Yes. Right. Radio Winslow. I like it. Is latest Wordle a winner? I think we're using that somewhere else, right? Final references. Using that in the process current results. What is that? On message create. We determine if latest Wordle is a winner. Yeah, and that lets us know if we need to send a new message to the chat or not. Okay, that should still work too. All right, cool. I think we're good, chat. Let's, should I push it? Yeah, why not? Git, add everything. Git commit -m. We'll see if it works, right? You were supposed to get it into fix logic for processing Wordle. Git push. And it's 402. Should be good. We good. Alrighty. See if it deployed. Events. Deploy started. Build successful. Service is live. So the plan is that I was working before this bug came into play. I was going to work, and I was working on this off stream. The plan is to move this from being a like a job. Forget how I created this. Like add environment. No. Yeah, I think. No, I can do that though. That sounds like a great idea actually. There was like add or new. Yeah. So I created it as a background worker. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to be a web service because I want an API that can access the database and also spin off that job that's running and listening to the, you know what I mean? So I started working on that in that other branch that you saw before. So what we'll do is next stream, we'll pick up on that because right now this is just a background worker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine them both into one service. I think that should be fine. And that way, because otherwise what I got to do is if I go in here and I go web service, it's going to cost me an extra $7 a month for something that doesn't need that many resources. You know, I can run it all under the same service, web service. You know what I'm saying? Just have the API spin off the background job that we need to do for the handling Discord messages and stuff like that. So any case, that's the plan. Until then, let's test one more time. Since I'm not getting any knocks at the door right now. Let's, I know I need the Discord. Let's see if we send in. Aren't you supposed to be leaving nowish? We're not leaving now. I just need to end the stream around 4 o'clock so that we can leave in a little bit later here. I think around 4:30. So I'm kind of pushing my luck right now. But let's just see what happens. I want to see the logs though. If I paste in an existing one. What did that just say? Results added to the database. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Invalid query again. What's wrong with my query? Scores for latest game. 1244. It's only getting that now. Fudge, I broke it. I broke it, chat. Can I revert back to a previous deploy? Events. Yes, we can roll back to here. Roll back, revert certain configuration. Yeah, that's fine. Roll back. All right, we'll roll back and then I'll figure it out off stream. All right, chat, I gotta go. It was worth a try. I thought that logic was sound. Clearly, it was not. On that note, though, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you for bearing with me with all the things that were going on around here with the lawn people coming and all the hectic stuff going on. Game number is 1244 on Discord. Shouldn't be 1245. I know. I was just trying to test it to do one that was existing already. In fact, I can test it again while that new deploy is up. That's funny. Does it keep adding the same one? No, result already exists. Okay, cool. That's funny. It sent a message for both 1245, game 1245, and and the one that I just submitted, which was yesterday's. This is kind of weird. So I technically won yesterday's Wordle with 4 attempts, and it's rightfully acknowledging me for that win. I'm just saying. Just saying, chat. All right. I got to go, though. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. I hope you had some fun with me and enjoyed all the stories and fun time. Hopefully you got, I want to reiterate this, that public service announcement. Go and audit your browser extensions that you're using, any plugins that you're using for other software. Double check, okay, that they're not having...
It is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
Double check, okay? Make sure everything's good to go. Audit the things that you're relying on to see if they're actually still by the same people that you trusted before to install them in the first place, okay? Because that's what just happened to me with this extension. It got sold to a company that then did affiliate fraud and browser history tracking. So keep that in mind. Use this as your warning and reminder to do that type of thing and be cautious of this stuff and more aware of it. And keep on keeping on. All right. Hope you got value out of the stream. Thank you for watching over on Twitch. If you have been watching this long, all this time, be sure to follow the channel if you haven't done so already, because there's been times where I'm watching streams and I forget to follow and it gets to the end of the stream and then I lose track of that person. So this is your reminder to do that. And if you're over on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel there so that you can see upcoming streams and content that we got going on. All right. I appreciate you all. Thank you everybody for the support, the follows, the resubs, the stream streaks, all that fun stuff. Appreciate your support. I hope you have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. I will see you next Friday, which is going to be November 22nd at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here, same place, wherever you're watching. All right. Have a good one. See ya.